Hunter Biden's breaking his silence, and he's distancing himself from his daddy.
Do you think Joe Biden was involved in some cover-up? Do you think Jake Tapper's telling the truth when he says that I was the acting chief of staff of the president? I was in that White House 12 days over the course of the last 2 years of the administration. Clearly, because I had other things going on. Okay? You ask one person to go on the record that would ever tell you that I was in any way making a single decision about anything in that White House. I stayed as far away as I possibly could, which, by the way, broke my heart.
It's so bad, even Hunter doesn't want to be associated with the Biden administration. The coup and the landslide shattered the structure of the party into a million pieces. And now it's up to Gavin and Tampon to save it from the commies. Black Rogan, Jamie Harrison, just launched a podcast and booked Tampon as his first guest. And the party's so broke, they couldn't afford 2 couches, so they had to share.
In Winnie the Pooh, Democrats are a donkey, but we are sure as hell are Eeyore most of the time.
Yeah.
It is a woe is me party, and everything is dark and dim. And the Republicans remind me of Tigger. Tigger will everything up. I mean, he will just mess it all up, but never take any ownership of it. Like, still hopeful and joyful and bouncing around and messing other things up.
I never thought of that analogy, but it is pretty apt.
Who you calling a Tigger? Trump spent 6 months cleaning up your mess. Democrats are only woe is me because they're the party of women and they're out of power. Trump's bouncing around having a good time because he's pumping up American business. And even though Timmy and Jamie have never run a business, they want you to know they're not Marxists.
Donald Trump sells snake oil or whatever, but it's capturing this idea of wealth and being able to be successful, which we as Democrats, we want people to pay their fair share, but why are we against people being successful like that? We can't be. Why are we against? We should talk about businesses. Not all businesses exploit their workers, and we get ourselves stuck in that.
Oh, well,
and
Governor,
I think we lose them.
Not all businesses exploit their workers. Way to go, Tampon. The Chinese honeymoon's officially over. But the racism, that's still sticking. Tampon says one time a black guy told him not all black guys are criminals.
This is one that Wes Moore is really good at and talked to me about, talking about black men and what happened. And he said, you get a lot of good-hearted politicians that'll come to black men in the community and talk about we restored felon voting rights. And he said, not knowing how insulting that is for these young men.
Tampon just found out not every black guy has a record. Waltz is learning things from all kinds of people. He just found out from his son that Trump's fun.
My son was able to vote as an 18-year-old, and I asked him about his take is, especially young white men, is he said, Dad, a lot of them aren't about the policies. Mm-hmm. They're about the thrill and the excitement, and, Trump brings the circus type of thing.
Yeah. Then it was time to throw Kamala under the bus. And we've never heard this before from him. He's always been a very loyal number 2. Tampon called Kamala lazy. He called her a quitter.
Trump even gets the whole thing about, being part of a team, give them the same hat, the same slogans and stuff like that. It's maddening to us. For a while there in August, I think we were giving them that place to go. You gave it to him in Chicago. You gave him something. And then we just kind of quit.
We did.
He didn't quit for 4 years.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Democrats may hate Trump, but they love that he's the real deal. Quote, party leaders are swearing more, recording more direct-to-camera videos, and trying to project an authenticity many voters have come to associate with Trump. You can't act authentic. You either are or you aren't. Black Rogan was downright giddy to tell Tampon that the only rule was no rules.
It's family talk. It's street talk. There's no frills, no fancy words. Good. Feel free to drop F-bombs or whatever you got to do whenever you got to do it.
Everybody wants to be like Trump. After 47 served fries at Mickey D's, Gavin's locking up the Hispanic vote, making tortillas. Remember when Trump posted a taco bowl on Cinco de Mayo, they called him racist? But what do they call Gavin sweating in the back of a Mexican restaurant? At least he learned his lesson. He's not serving caviar at the French Laundry. Meanwhile, no matter how hard the white guys try, the commies stealing their base and their property.
Would life be better if we just abolished private property?
I think it probably would be better. That's not what my platform is. that I'm saying to abolish it, but my platform is to decommodify it. The system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
Kami Mamdani says abolishing private property is a good idea. This is the guy Democrats are swooning over because he's so authentic. I guess he is authentic. He's saying the things the rest of the Democrats believe but are afraid to say. That's why they love him. So if I understand this correctly, Mamdani is a commie, but he's not running as a commie.
This guy is not a communist. He's not a socialist. He's an advocate for small c capitalism. And that, he really is fighting for the little business guy that's trying to eke out a living in New York. Half of all New Yorkers, get their jobs from small business.
More like small c communist. It is a red wave, and not the good kind. First New York, now Minneapolis. Here's their next mayor.
It is a big spending bill. Like I said, it's $400 million, but to be honest, it's not an expense, it's an investment. It is relatively small compared to the scope of the issue of systemic racism. This country was founded on wealth extraction from the labor of Black people, and that legacy will just not fade by itself. It needs to be uprooted.
This is what the next 3 years is going to look like. Semi-straight white guys trying to win back the working man, while a young communist typhoon sweeps the base off its feet. Even CNN admits the Dems are cooked.
The bottom line is this: Democrats are behind their 2006 and 2018 paces when it comes to the generic congressional ballot. Look at where we are now. Democrats are ahead, but by just 2 points. Look at where Democrats were already ahead by in 2017. They were behind by 7 points. How about 2005 on the generic congressional ballot? Ahead by 7 points, ahead by 7 points, and now they're only ahead by 2 points.
Not only are the American people quitting the Democrats, Democrats, like Kamala, are quitting on the American people. Senator Spartacus and his crew are just walking off the job instead of doing it.
Why are you doing this? This is outrageous.
This is a kangaroo court. That's all we have here, Mr. Chairman.
This is wrong. To violate your own rules without going by the mandates of the parliamentarian. This is unbelievable. There's a way to do this. If you want to force this through, if you want to ram this through, there's a way to do it in accordance to the rules as spelled out by the parliamentarian. It is simple. It is clear. There's a pathway to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.